It's a shame before you just drag it on anything. This one.
Oh yeah, so I did that kind of something.
Yeah.
So I actually did that one. Did that one. Fingers in. Over. All the way through. Around. So now this one lets go. Catches my head. Back. And then from here, I just got the wrist. Just like this. So do a cross wrist. So you get cross wrist and then circle over here.
What's up, guys?
Was that it? No.
Say hi. Let us know who's watching. What's up, Jorge? Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Just keep it tight. I wouldn't go there though. I just kind of keep it in here. Just cut my head. Just cut my head. Here. Yeah, I try to go all the way to the hold it.
Because I know it's like, it's just like, not straight.
Yeah, you gotta catch this hip so I can come around. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna dance around you. If I go here and keep spinning.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. So, yeah.
just keep it nice.
Bring it across. Yeah, cross wrist. Yeah. Here. Try to apply that. You don't have to go crazy. But I like having this one behind and this one before. You can't run away. Because if I'm here, now you can start feeling weird. Yeah, just kind of like.
So you can just choose and just drive forward.
There. What I did was I got real heavy on here, and I just went across here. Because this foot hit that foot, and we got it stuck.
All right, we got 4 people in the room. Leave a comment. Let us know who you are. Say hi. I want to know who's watching today, guys.
So I watched John Wick check 3.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a bad I honestly,
You ever see any of them?
they're
really
good.
They're all really good. Yes.
I feel like anytime I hear people say that, I immediately just like, all right, it's good. I'll hold that one later. I'll watch that one.
No. It's just, there's like maybe 6 lines of dialogue in the whole thing. In the whole trilogy. It's all just really badass fighting.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like my dialogue though. Like I like Christopher Walken. I like those like little cold lines.
What's up, Layla?
That was one of his better movies. Basically, there was a scene though where it was like the all glass room, who just keeps tossing the guys. I was like, that's got to be my objective. Just like straight up hit toss, just driving people cases and stuff.
We're gonna make you like John Krell or whatever that Russian dude. We're gonna turn him into that. We're gonna have your next fight's gonna be 185.
Here we go. Juicy one.
Yeah, dude, no strikes anymore, Connor. Just slams.
Got some flat and some sauce.
There, still there. Once he's here, we're just going back up and then back.
And picking them up and slamming again. And then picking them up, and it's a pile driver. I did a pile driver once on a mirror. You could get it back up there.
Yeah, it's like
Just shook the kombucha inside of his body. What are you saying?
I did a mock pile driver once to a mirror and then Dean once, where they were just kind of turtling up. So I spun the front turtle, waist lock. He's like, it's a pile driver! I think Dean shit his pants.
that's not considered legal because it's a slam.
Yeah, on their neck. You're spiking them.
What if you like lift and just drop them?
Pretty sure that's all. That would be considered a slam. If you pick them up off the ground and then drop them, yeah. It's not a slam if you start standing and you take their feet out from underneath them and land on them, because that's considered takedown as long as you don't land on their neck. But if they're grounded and you pick them up off the ground, that's a slam.
You're talking about jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
What if you follow
or MMA?
What if you follow them back down?
Slams are illegal in MMA, except
It doesn't say what's the gray
except for
the dark area, I guess.
Oh man, I don't even know.
Because like I've seen some wild stuff.
I think about Quentin Rampage Jackson and Ricardo Arona. Full triangle, just picking his ass up, and then just.
Well, that I know is illegal, but I'm thinking of even like stuff like Carl Parisian was doing, where he's just literally tossing guys and they're completely landing on their neck sideways, their feet straight up in the air.
That's their own damn fault.
Exactly. So like that's another area because it's like that's as dangerous as it gets.
Yeah. That's again their fault because he didn't intentionally throw them on their head. They're just falling like dumbasses.
Right. So I guess would it be like if you modify the lift, it's like all right.
Yeah. If you intentionally spike them on their neck, then yeah, that's it. As far as I know, it's a DQ in it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna get started here. So our focus is on guard passing, and we had a couple of requests to go over in a little more detail on the M series that we were doing. And we're going to look at a little bit of the floating passes that Gordon Ryan likes to do. Because it's kind of like when you get into the M stance, if you move to one direction, you're getting into like the deep M stance. If you go in the other direction, now you're setting up that whole floating pass series that Gordon and the Danaher guys like to go for. And it's getting a lot more popularity. But really it was Jeff Glover and Marcelo Garcia were both doing those passes over a decade ago. So it's not like a new invention or anything like that, but just it was neat seeing how the Danaher guys put it all together. So let's look at the M series. And it all starts with getting to the stance. All right, so Connor's on the bottom. Nick is on top and standing.
You want to slam him there?
Yep, slam him.
Right there.
Okay, so you can start with feet on the hips, or you can start with butterfly hooks in. It doesn't really matter. If the butterfly hooks are in, we're going to knee pummel. Boom. So now we got 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the guard. Okay, one hand at the hip, one hand at the knee. Here and here. Yep. No, you're good right there. Just kind of just move your hands down for a second. Yep. So this is where you want to be for all the M passing stuff. Okay, off to the side. Now, the person on the bottom, you should never let your feet touch the ground. Anytime your feet touch the ground, you're just in a completely dead position. As long as Connor keeps his knees up and his feet off the ground, he can still defend. The second his feet touch the ground, it's just dead. It's just absolutely dead. So it's a free pass at that point. So always keep your legs engaged by keeping the feet off the ground. Okay. So what I was talking about earlier is Nick is moving to his left. That puts him in the M stance. If he gets 1 foot in, 1 foot out, moves in the other direction, now we're looking at the floating pass stuff that Gordon and the Danaher guys like to do. Jeff Glover is a big proponent of it. That's where I originally learned it, was from a Jeff Glover seminar back in the day. So anyway, one way, M stance, the other way, floating passes. Okay? So let's look at the M
floating passes. Where do you want the stance at?
Pretty similar. So that foot is going to be at the knee. So like actually butterfly hooking the knee. Yeah, right there. Bend it. And you're going to sit on this top butterfly hook.
Here.
Yeah, right there. Now, Connor really doesn't want that knee to go too far. Okay? Your knee, Connor.
This one.
Yeah, you want to keep it up more. Exactly. That way it can act as a frame. The more your knee comes to the side, the easier it is for Nick to just, push it down, sprawl, and pass.
Where do I want my knee?
Okay? Hip and knee.
You want me here? Okay.
Yep, right there. Right there. Okay? So, yeah, exactly. Anyway, so let's look at the M series in depth. Okay, right there. Cinematographer now.
Well, I can see that.
So we got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We're in that deep stance and we're close. All right, we don't want to be far away here like the Toriano. Okay, Toriano, you're too far. The M stance, you're too close. You never want to be in that in between zone. You always want to be too close, too far. So M stance is too close. That's where we want to be. Connor, it's very difficult for him to put his butterfly hooks in, to put a De La Hiva hook in, to pummel that left leg over the top and try to come back inside. It's very difficult. Okay. So with everything in place, the first thing to go for is the M1. Okay. Pick the leg up behind you, hike that football past you, and then knee on belly. Okay, it's very similar motion to the Toriano with that C cup and pushing the knee through. Now you want to work that as you lift the leg up, the C cup happens. So it's like a seesaw. When one end goes down, the other end comes up. It's not like this. Okay, it goes right there. And that's how you get really good timing with it. M stance. Leg up and hike together. Yes. Right there. Now, one of the reasons that you want to go for, like, it's done in this order for a reason. The M2 is a lot simpler, but the M1 sets up the M2. The M2 doesn't set up the M1 as much, and not only that, but it keeps you in a standing position. So if the M1 fails, if he hikes that leg, you'll go ahead and hike it through, but counter just regards. Yep. Now he regards. Okay, we're still in a standing position. If you go for that knee slide, okay, and it fails, let's say counter puts that knee in front of the stomach. Yep, right there. Now we're grounded. Okay, so we're less mobile. So it's not uncommon. Watch Marcelo Garcia pass. Watch Rafa Mendez pass. He's going to go for 2-3 M1s in a row. Okay, I do that a lot too. When I'm standing, I'm playing open guard. M1 again. Yep. M1 again, right there, and now yes. So it's easy to kick that leg back. It's very low risk. So it's easy to just go for it again and again and again. Okay? So that's the M1. Your leg goes up behind you, C-cup that knee through, and they happen together. Yes, landing and knee on belly. Again, you're landing in a standing position or almost standing position. All Nick needs to do is get that knee back up. If anything goes wrong, he just picks that knee up, and now he's back to his standing passing game. Okay? So M2, knee slide through. Very straightforward. This works great when they cross their ankles, so you can't kick the leg back for the M1. Pummel, flatten them out, kick that ankle off. Boom, right there. Finally, the M3, as part of the series, happens when you go for the M1, his ankle's across. Yep, so you go into M2. You can't get out of the quarter guard, though. Okay, so you drop the knee to the other side, so you end up in 3/4 mount. Okay? Now, posturing up, blocking his arm, making sure nothing's in the way, swinging the leg over the top, and sliding in to side mount. You can land in an arm triangle. You can land in a vegan arm triangle. You can land in just standard side mount. There's all kinds of options for you here. Okay, but it just goes M1, M2, M3. And Marcelo Garcia, that was one of their warm-ups for fundamentals class. And they just did it every single day. Every single day. M1, M2, M3. M1, M2, M3. He didn't call it M1, M2. He had his own names for it. I think it was like the back step pass or the leg swing pass or something like that, and the knee cut pass, and then the leg swing over the top. I don't know what the hell he called it. But Eddie just started calling it M1, M2, M3. But it was based on that flow drill that Marcelo Garcia had everybody do just every single day. So let's look at that again.
You want me to go do the flow? Or
Yeah, so the idea is you complete M1.
Oh.
Yeah, complete M1. Reset. He crosses ankles. You M2 and complete it. Good. Now, he crosses ankles, M1, M2, he keeps the ankle. So you're M3. So it's a 3-phase drill. Complete M1, reset. Complete M2, reset. Complete M3, reset. Now your other partner goes. M1, reset. M2, reset. M3, reset. Okay. So that is kind of the passing template to the outside. Okay. And again, it's all focused on being too close and having a lot of pressure on your partner. Now, the other thing you really need to take extra time is to make sure you have your wall built. Okay. And by that, I mean your elbow and your knee are connected to each other. Okay. So once Nick gets into that stance, go ahead and move this arm. Yes. So his right arm and his right knee are attached. Okay. And that right foot has to be under counter. If his foot's back, even if his knee and elbow are touching, there's still space for counter to get that foot pummeled in. Okay? Yeah. Either underneath there, go back on. Either pummel underneath there or pummel over the top of his arm. Yeah, it's just so much easier to get that pummel in. Even Connor could do it. So get in tight.
The real tragedy.
Yeah. That foot is in underneath the tailbone. His elbow and knee are connected. Now when counter tries to pummel in front of the shin, that's really difficult. Tries to pummel over the top, really difficult. He ends up running into the leg.
Do I even want to do that? That wasn't just like a cow pass.
I mean, yeah. people do stuff though.
I like we do some that. We do.
A common thing you are going to see though is doing a really tight pummel over his bicep and trying to step on his thigh. Yes, right. Toes in. Now you can push him away to create a little bit of space. Yeah, and get back to your guard game. Exactly. So that's a very common response you're going to see, and that's one thing I forgot to record last week. Is that pummel and regard and then the counter to it. So go ahead and in place. So Connor is going to do what he can to get that little pummel in there, step on the hip or thigh, create some space, and then line back up with his partner. Yes. Now to counter that, Nick needs to be aware of what's going on with that leg at all times. And that's why it's so important to have pressure on that wall there. So you're pushing outward with your elbow and your knee so you can feel what's going on with that leg without staring at it the whole time. As soon as you feel that knee, that foot come up, Nick wants to get it on his shoulder and clinch. Yes, right there. Okay. Now at this point, he's going to take this knee and insert it into the hole in between his arm. Yes. And now head and arm control with the leg. Man, yeah, this is it right here. The over-under pass. Yep. Now you can back
get that triangle with the leg in.
Oh, yeah. Yep, the triangle.
Yeah.
I could not.
You can, yeah, exactly. Lanky guys, you got the advantage here. Okay, so let's look at that again. Let's look at that again.
All right. I saw that. That blew my mind, man. I saw Chris doing it. I remember I was sitting over there, and it was one of the first all times started coming over for the open roll. And I just remember watching it happen. He did it to Mitch. And I was just like, what is it? Yeah. The crying.
Oh, the crying.
So I was just like, what is happening? I was like, this is weird jiu-jitsu stuff.
All right, so Connor is trying to pummel that top leg in. In order to create space, one thing you can do is put this bottom foot down. Yep, and do just a tiny shrink. Right there. Now it's easier for him to pummel that in. Yep, step on the hip, push away, line back up with your partner. Okay, so that's one of the ways to deal with the M stance. Now, Nick's counter to that is catching the leg on the shoulder and hitting the over-under.
Does it help me to like overcommit on like a pummel on that, like pummeling with them? Or I guess commit to a pummel, not overcommit.
It's more about leaning in than the hand. Because watch this.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean.
Yeah. So you're here. As soon as he starts bringing that leg up and you pummel, you fill that space with your shoulder, and now it doesn't matter where the hand is. Yeah. As long as you have that pressure in, he's not going to be able to get the leg free. If you're back.
So I could even stay here while I answer.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. If you're back, doesn't matter how tight you grab this, he's going to be able to pummel that leg still.
Right.
Exactly. So it's about taking up space and pressuring in on him.
Yeah, knee bar.
There's always a knee bar. Always a knee bar.
Stupid question.
Yeah. So he gets into the M stance. Yeah, right here. He's in deep. Connor starts pummeling. Nick clinches. Yep, right there. Brings that knee on the inside and then clinches the upper body, head and arm control. That finishes the pass. Now, he can also pass in the other direction by pushing his right shoulder towards Connor's ear and looking towards the ceiling. Yeah, don't look away. Look up. There it is. Yep. Just make sure you can't Heisman or do anything unexpected. Now we're in a cradle position, and we can go for yeah. Yeah. There it is. There it is. Captain Crunch. For those of you who missed it, was that our last live stream? Last Saturday? It was one of our previous live streams. 2 live streams ago. It feels like so long because we missed Wednesday. Anyway, anytime you end up in a cradle, setting up the Captain Crunch. So what's in one of the live streams at the very end, so you can go back and check that out if you want to.
Is there a way to set up a banana splits or something out of that?
Oh, yeah.
Have that.
Oh, yeah, too. So you can actually
positioning or something.
You can actually set up. It all depends on how you insert your legs. So go ahead in that position again.
I'm a team player.
Yeah, right here. So go ahead and start clinching the upper body. You don't have to clinch it all the way. Okay, but basically you just want this knee to come off the ground. So you're going to windshield wiper your left foot towards me. Yep, and now lean in on him to get his knee off the floor. Put in your lockdown. Yes, right there. Now from here, clinch, stretch. Right there. He's so damn long. That's just a topside electric chair.
I go so slow with this.
You don't want to ruin it. That's the topside electric chair.
That's one of my strength competition. But like,
You're so damn long, though. If you pull that off, you're gonna rip somebody's hip off.
that's right.
Yeah.
What an awkward walk out. Yeah, like a turn. Yeah.
Kind of looking like you just cracked yourself.
There's no sport like integrity or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like
No coming back from that one.
Yeah. It's like, you can't go away that, like, you know what? That was just a tough one. Not my day. It's literally just like that happens.
Yep.
Now process this.
So another way that you can do this one is using both shins, crossing your ankles and pinning his thigh down. So you can put in the full lockdown for the electric chair, or once Nick goes here, first shin in, just put the hands on the mat. Yep, cross the ankles there, and now try to put his knee on the floor with your shoulder.
My arms just walking.
Yeah, just walk your hands. Yep. Yeah.
Now it feels worse.
Yeah.
That was really easy.
So those are the two different ways you can do that topside splitting type pressure.
I can never see it that because it'd be hard to control that leg.
Yeah, the lockdown gives you more control, but this gives you the better stretch.
Yeah. There's
So,
no like anytime like in wrestling, anytime anybody try to split it, like do splits on me, they're like, I'll give up a pin, but this is not happening.
I'm not giving up.
Yeah, so I know I'll do whatever it takes to not have that happen.
well, that one too is like, especially if someone's not flexible at all. You know, like that. I feel like you could just pipe your hug and just try and go for right there. Just know what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Now let's look at other ways of defending against the M stance. So go ahead, Nick, get up in position. Yeah, so Connor can do a mini shrimp with the bottom foot, pummel that top foot in, the space he just created, step on the hip. Yep, and now line back up with his partner. That foot on the hip is for distance control. You're setting the distance now. You have a barrier up that is sensitive. You can move with it. You can push him away. You can ride it in if he pushes in. So that's why that foot on the hip is so important.
Is it ever advantageous to be using like this, like a kick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is not a bad idea. You just don't want to sit there with the feet touching. You either want a butterfly hook or you want it on the knee or higher. Okay. Now let's look at another way to deal with this. All right. So Nick gets into that M stance. Okay. Connor is going to take his top hand and he's going to stiff arm Nick's knee or his bicep. The close one. No, the close one there. Yep. Either the knee or you can C-cup the bicep thumb down and do one of these. Yes. Again, create space so that Nick is in that intermediate zone. Nick wants to be either too close or too far. So Connor is going to, do a scoop back here. And you want to try to get up to your elbow or your palm. Yes, right here. Now get your butterfly hooks back. Exactly. You can start playing here or play from sitting up. This is kind of the really elementary way of doing it. Just frame, push away, scoot your butt back.
So general rule of thumb is like that's just to create space.
Yeah. Okay. Put him in that intermediate place. Okay. You can think of just this big strip where it's red here, green in the middle. You want to keep them in that green. Okay, for you to be effective. Your butterfly hooks, your daily heel hooks, feet on the hip, all that to be effective. So let's look at that again. Nick gets into the M stance. There we go. Connor goes thumb down. Yep. And it can be on the bicep. It can be on the knee. The shoulder, you can, but he's going to power through. Yeah.
I feel like that helps more with pummeling over the top, right?
You can, yeah. You can pummel on. You can push on the shoulder and then pummel over the top. Yes. And that top pummel, honestly, is more effective than the D if you can grab the sleeve because you can play lasso grab. Yeah. All right. So when he scoots back, he's getting up onto his palm or his elbow. Yeah. Right there. And now he's playing sitting up butterfly guard. Exactly. So that's what you're going to end up seeing using more often than not. Okay, what?
So that one speaks. It feels like something happened.
Yeah.
Run away.
Just post as hard as possible and just try to scoop stuff out.
One of the big things on open guard is setting the distance. Who's setting the distance? The person on the top or the person on the bottom? If the person on the top setting distance, you're going to get your guard passed. If the person on the bottom is the one setting distance, those are the people who are so frustrated to pass their guard because they don't let you get to that too close position. They don't let you stay in that too far position. Anytime you go Toriano and you shoot the legs back, they're always scooting in towards you so you can get their hooks in.
So it's really just keeping that mentality of constantly jockeying for that just position.
Yes, yes, exactly. Don't accept being in a bad position. Okay, just like with grips, don't accept his grip. Break it off, put your grip on. Okay, those are two philosophies. You set the distance, you make the grips. If you just do that, you're doing pretty well. You're doing a pretty good job. Yeah. Okay, so now let's take a look, preview of this, some material we're going to have coming up here. Nick gets into the M stance, or instead of moving to his left, he's going to move in the opposite direction. Okay, so he's here, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and he's moving in that direction. Okay, so now what he wants to do is sit his butt to Connor's foot and keep your knees a little higher. So more like you're squatting. Yeah, but get in deeper. There you go, right there. Right there. So now that inside butterfly hook that Connor has, go ahead and turn and face the camera. Right there. Okay. That butterfly hook that Connor has should be stuffed. He shouldn't be able to lift Nick with that. Now, if Nick is back a little bit, yeah, now Connor might be able to get some lift on with that. Exactly. So you want to be, you want to be pressuring in, and your right foot should be hooked under his knee or thigh. Exactly. Okay. So from this position, now we're setting up a whole different series of passes. Okay. The main two. Let's get the first one out of the way because Nick already mentioned it, is the M3. If his knee is pointing across, his knee. Yeah, if his knee is pointing in this direction at all, like that, it's really easy for Nick to just hit an M3 over the top. Yeah, exactly. Super, super clean, very easy to pass. Okay, so let's do that again.
Very much so, Nick.
Oh, yeah. That's for that.
Let's do it from butterfly hooks. Okay, so Nick pummels. Yep, now he moves in the other direction. Right there. That knee is pointing across, so he's going to posture up, swing the leg. Yes, right into the M3. Side mount. Good pressure. Okay. The other one we're going to do is if he's doing a good job not letting that foot collapse in, he's keeping that knee pointing up at the ceiling. Yeah. So we're here. We're here. So now it's hard for Nick to push that knee across. Okay. So now what Nick is going to do, let's turn and face the back. Yes. Okay. So this is where that floating stuff comes into play. Nick is now going to put his hands up over Connor's shoulders and let his feet float in the air. Let Connor hold you up. So Connor, your leg collapsed. Don't let it collapse. Yeah, keep him floating and just don't kick him in the nuts. Yes. Yeah, right there. So this is where that floating game comes into play. Nick can now use either foot to butterfly hook over the top. Yep. So there's one, and let's butterfly hook the other way. Yep. Hold him up, Connor. Hold him. There we go. So now he's going to butterfly hook with the other foot. Right there. Exactly. And now, yes, you're going to turn your hips this way hard. The other way. Yes. See how the foot comes out? Good. So now it becomes a game of which butterfly hook can I insert? Is it this one or this one? Okay. As long as you can get a foot hooked so that you're instep to instep, you've got the pass. Okay. So let's see that again. Go ahead and face the back wall. Move back a little bit more. Connor, hold him up. Don't collapse that leg. Anytime that leg collapses, it's free pass. There we go. Butterfly hook goes in. Turn the hips. That's one. The other one comes in. Hands on the mat. Hips off the ground. The butterfly hook goes in. Yep. Now turn your hips. Yes. Right there. Now you can get very specific with where you put the hands. I like to go one hand collar tie and pin the wrist. Do that again. So let's turn so Nick's facing the front door. So when I like to go for this one, I like to pin the wrist with this hand and grab a collar tie with the other hand. Yeah, and now so bring the wrist up here. So you can put the hands up high. Yeah, this is where I like to do. Okay, now butterfly hook goes in. Yep, and you hit that pass. The more you lean in and the more your butt comes up, the easier it is to put the butterfly hook in. Okay, and again, Connor's not really supporting you with that way. He's doing more 45-pound kettlebell squats.
Well, I mean, I can be really aggressive on. I'm just like taking care of you.
Take care of you. When am I show you guys Vegas.
Let's see, Tracy. Been wanting to get into this floating pass. Yeah, there it is. Yes.
Man,
See how easy it is to get that butterfly again now? Yes.
I did this before. I just thought I was just being more athletic. I didn't know it was a thing. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna smash here and flip my hips over the top.
Yep.
Just looking for being nice.
Yep.
You're an MMA fighter.
So let's look at what we're actually doing here. Let's look at what we're doing here in reality. Okay. So go ahead and just put your feet flat on the floor, Connor, and Nick, stand up. Okay. Just put 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Okay. So at this point, if Nick takes his right leg and like does that butterfly hook instep to instep, yeah, you can see he is now officially past Connor's guard. That's the easy pass. So go back into that floating position. Yep. Now when he puts that butterfly hook in, right there, he's already passed. All he's got to do is extend this leg and let that hip drop. And he falls to the side, pass is done. What's up, Tracy? Where you been hiding? Now, when we go in the other direction, when that other butterfly hook comes in, yeah, his butterfly. Right there, yes. He's going to use that to detangle this leg. Okay, go ahead and extend that leg towards me. Yes, right there. Right there.
You just want to like launch it from here.
I mean, you could try, but you've got gravity fighting against you.
I've been in 35-pound swings. Let's see.
Because what can happen is that if Nick is trying to hook with his right leg, but Connor is again not letting him do that. So go back in here for a second. So let's say you feel that coming in. So you take your bottom foot and you hook over. Connor. So you're hooking that way with it. So it's hard for that leg to come in. So the other one's got to come in to rescue. Yep. And then kick it out that way. Yes. Yes, exactly. And again, I like going collar tie and pinning the wrist because I'm moving in that direction. I'm going to be moving away from the wrist I'm pinning, so it leads very well to a head and arm control and side mount afterwards. Yeah. Not only that, but this is the hand that's going to be useful after I pass for you. That's going to be your framing. Okay, so I'm just pinning that sucker to the ground, passing, and then getting into a deep, deep side mount. Okay, so let's look at that again. Okay, he's floating. Connor's holding that weight up. Butterfly hook goes in. Pass. Yeah. See how that wrist pin really shuts down your options. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today, guys. So the big takeaway here is that once you start passing the guard, you really want 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's where you're going to have so many options. You're going to get really, really close. And you're going to shift your weight to this side for the M stance, shift your weight this side for the floating passes. All right, that's kind of the scheme that we're going for. Once we're in the M stance, we've got our passes M1, M2, M3. Once we're in the floating pass, we got the M3 where you can swing leg over the top if he's being really lazy with that leg, or you can butterfly hook either leg and use that to pass. Okay, that's it for today, guys. We've got another week or so of closure, and hopefully June 12th we'll be reopening. So stay tuned for more details, and we'll have more information for you as we get closer. All right. So thank you guys very much, and we'll see you soon. Where are those hands, Connor? Where are those hands? There they go. Oh.